Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. Let me just turn the music up to about there. Okay. Yep. Okay. Sweet. Right. So in the last stream, what happened was I got up to Velden. So this is Velden, but I wasn't able to get much beyond here due to the sheer insanity of the enemies in the level, along with the fact that they don't actually properly respond to the decoy glove. So as you just saw there, I went ahead and I got a ton of bolts. So for those that don't know how to do this, one way to do it is up there. I'll show it off. But basically, there's a point up here. Okay. Oh, little bit of bomb there. Okay. Right here. If you clip through the wall right here and make your way around the other side of here, or about here, what happens is that you can then glide onto a building, and then from the building you can glide onto a whatchamacallit, you can glide onto the racetrack off of the building, and then you go around the racetrack, making sure to go in the forwards direction, because if you go in the reverse direction, the game will glitch you into the hoverboard race, which stops you from being able to do the glitch. And then there's a jump about 3/4 of the way through the track with a huge stack of crates, and then with the taunter out, holding circle, facing away from the crates, you will then have about 10 to 12 bolts per second flying towards you, and then you just do that for a few hours until you have whatever number of bolts you need. For the Rhino you need 150,000. To get everything you need about 500,000, I think. Maybe 300,000, somewhere around there. And for the for the trophy on PS3, where you need to accumulate 1,000,000 bolts, you need, due to the way that operates, it's based on bolts accumulated, including bolts that you've lost due to buying things. So you'll probably only need to obtain 800, 900,000 bolts for that. Without further ado, I should be able to glide onto this part of the level. Yep. Easy peasy. Oop. Ow. That's fine though. Oh, Now we're at exactly 150,000. Well, there goes you. Oh. Yeah, they seem to aggro on each other as well. Oh well. Oh. Now the bolts are really coming. But yeah, then this is the cutscene where you buy the rhino.
Oh, this thing is heavy! Yeah, try carrying it around in your trench coat for 2 months.
Thank you, sir. We'll be sure to tell everyone about your services.
Listen, you little twerp. If you tell anyone what you saw or what we talked about,
Do I even have to say it?
yous two have a nice day.
Hey! Rip ya a new one. And like every other weapon in the game, you automatically start out with half ammo. Oh yeah, it's still gonna put me right here. Okay, that's fine. In future games, what happens is that you end up with full ammo once you purchase any weapon. But also, when you purchase a weapon, you automatically... No. What also happens is, when you purchase ammo, you can purchase all of the ammo in for a weapon in one go. And then if you, for whatever reason, want less than the maximum amount of ammo, you do that manually, rather than manually setting the max amount. And then Ratchet and Clank 3 starts off the feature where you can purchase all the ammo for all your weapons. Okay. Right, so originally I was planning on going straight to Veldon, but since I have a little... Nah, sure, why not? Let's go straight there. Okay. Okay. Right. Yeah, so it would cost about 500 bolts to get the rest of the ammo, to fill up this gun's ammo, so that'll do about. Okay. There we go.
Hi there, Fuzzball.
Okay. And watch the rhino just destroy everything and everything else. Everything and everything that isn't everything. And even with 2 shots, 300 volts. Oop. There you go. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I've ever seen ammunition for this weapon spawn in the, spawn from crates. Although there does exist data in the game. Yeah. This is a lot more fun than having to run around with trying to not get destroyed by these guys. Way more fun. Okay. that shit there. Okay. Right, okay. So yeah, this is the very crater that you originally find Clank in. And at the start of the game you are also able to see this this Magna Boot track as well. Although you are also able to see it from like the end, not the end, the from the start of the start. Okay, you can't actually get in there. Good to know. Okay. My guess is that that goes like that. That goes like that. And that goes some way which stops it from being blocked. Okay. Nope. Okay. What's that there? That there is actually another part of the level. Is it possible to SI up onto that? No. No, okay. That's fine. Right. Yeah, and all foot and head gadgets are of the sort that automatically are applied when the situation would require them to be applied. But in future games, that also goes with some of the hand gadgets or hand stuff. For example, in Ratchet and Clank 3, the hacker puzzle item thing is automatically equipped once you... I need that. Okay. Yeah, the hacker puzzle is automatically equipped once you have okay. Yeah, automatically equipped once you have the thing, whatchamacallit. Once you're at a hacker terminal, I guess is the word. I'm also going to change up this. I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that. I might end up accidentally dying by falling into the void or something random. So I will be wanting that as well. So I'll overwrite that one with the Rhino. Okay. There we go. Okay. Yeah. And also, yeah, okay. So, oh, weapons. So, you know, this is the main use for the Taunter. Aside from those aside from breaking boxes and stuff. Use this to call that frog over to you. He, like, you know, steps on the button and lets you get the gold bolt. However, in speed runs, the way that is done is through what you do is at some point later on in the level you activate a glitch called Ghost Ratchet. You seem to be arriving out. And now you're gone. Okay. Nice. Okay. Also, since this is pretty close to the end of Ratchet and Clank, anything goes. Oop. This is actually really difficult to make with the thruster pack. Yeah, but that goes to show how much more height you can get with the helipad. Yeah, so how much more height you can get with the helipad. What's shooting at me? Oh, you. There you go. Okay. So yeah. Also, that way is yet another gold bolt. I believe that. Yeah, so you've got the one in there. Yeah, okay, that there is a second one. And then the third one is more over here. You do a turn and then that's I guess. Okay. Once again, another hacker puzzle. Right. That one can go there. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that one. Maybe those two. That one. Okay. That one can go there, but not there. Yeah, but then that one. I'm not getting to that one. So that one. There we go. Easy peasy. Not really, but still. Not that bad. I think I think the developers had a specific goal in mind for the length of time that a challenge like that should take you out of gameplay, out of like shooting and jumping and stuff. So, for example, so yeah, they don't want something like that to take hours, for example. Come on. Maybe from here. There we go. Hey you! So you basically need to go this way. Okay. Unless you use various glitches and whatnot, wherein better. Alright, so you're supposed to get into here. At some point, and then what? What? Probably another door we're supposed to get through. Yeah, because I don't quite remember. Oh, I see. So at the very start, that pool there, what happens is you you drain it, but you never refill it, and then you use that here. That's actually quite clever. Rather than having a puzzle be like in its own contained area, have the halves of the puzzle distributed over the over like the entire different parts of the level. So welcome to Giant's Clank. Okay. Oh no. Yeah, those Giant Clank is quite tough and sturdy and whatnot. He can take a beating. And then cutscene. I guess, yep.
Hey! What the?
Imbeciles! After all the trouble you've gone through, you're about to die right where you started. It's so poetic.
This is it, Clank. Let's get him.
Okay.
You might have been useful to me after all. Too bad you chose the wrong side.
Yeah, so that's that. So yeah, that part of the fight is quite easy, especially compared with the rest of it. But basically, yeah, you could just stand there and pummel him with stuff. This was originally going to be the point in which I was going to go off and get the Rhino, basically, and just use the Rhino exclusively for this. But yeah, like the Devastator or the Visibomb gun would have probably been sufficient for basically everything there. Yeah, especially with the Visibomb gun, because assuming you have enough bolts, because each Visibomb gun costs 100 bolts, what you can do is at the start you can launch Visibomb guns into all of the tough enemies, and then just keep on going back to the vendor as you need it. But obviously right here the Visibomb gun wouldn't actually work because there's like an invisible barrier here or something like that. In fact, this entire boss arena is outside of the map. In fact, if at the very end you push select to show you to see your map, you won't be able to see Ratchet's position. Is there anything else I need to mention? Yeah, so I'll go more into the challenges after the boss fight, I think is the way to do this. Okay.
I got some great bargains for you today.
Yeah, so I am at full health. Rhino. Okay. Right, so let's get on to de-drecking Drek. Yeah, and I'm not sure of this, but I would probably have some difficulty getting Drek defeated with Wool. If I have some limitations that stop me using the Rhino. So yeah, I'm not certain what challenges I could do, given that this level is difficult enough to basically mandate the use of the Devastator or Visibomb gun. I mean, I guess a sort of hardware challenge would suffice. There we go. Yeah, so by a hardware challenge, what I'm referring to, it would be something like no jumping, for example. But you know, you fundamentally can't do a no jumping challenge because, like, whoop, that was a close one. Okay, that was also close one, but yeah, after this, I don't actually need the thing. Okay.
So it has come to this. Once I step on this ignition switch, a countdown will commence. The end of which signals the destruction of your pitiful world.
There must be another way to make a home for your people.
You think that's what this is about? Who do you think polluted our last world? I did. This is about one thing and one thing only. Cash. And lots of it. You see, I've been paid for every square inch of my new world. Once the inhabitants move in, I will begin polluting this world as well. Then the whole thing starts all over again. Ah, brilliant.
Why, you evil little...
Save it, Clank. We have to stop that timer.
Hey WPPC. How's things? Okay. There we go. Right, okay, there we go. So yeah, as you can see, the Rhino is like doing a ton of damage to him. Also, yeah. So yeah, as you saw there, the way that his ring attack works is, it either goes away after some amount of time, or
Ratchet?
What's up? You know, this time I am thinking what you're thinking.
okay. Yeah, so after hitting this button, that will basically be the end of the entire game. Yeah, so the ring that goes around Drek either goes away after a bit of time, or after he hits you once with it. So after he hits you once with his ring attack, it goes away. Also, as mentioned previously, if I do selecting out, Ratchet is entirely off the screen. So,
This can't be good. Phew, that was close. Clank, you can pull us up now.
The servos in my arm appear to be broken.
Broken? As in, fall to our deaths broken?
Yes.
That was close. Thanks.
My arm appears to be badly damaged.
Ah, you'll be all right. Hey, tin can! Where do you think you're going? We, still need to fix that arm.
Okay.
Do you have a problem with unwanted hair? Is painful itching in your nether regions causing you undue embarrassment? Do you just plain stink? Then you need this, the Gadgetron Personal Hygienator. Hi, I'm Steve McQuark, and this little baby can take care of any grooming needs that are just too much trouble for you to handle yourself. Allow me to demonstrate. Yeah. Oh, mommy.
Turn it off! Turn it off!
Okay. So, yeah.
Congratulations. Now that Chairman Dreck's account has been closed, you're Gadgetron's most valued customer. We've got new items available for you. Just check the new goodies menu on your pause screen.
Nice.
If you'd like, you can start a new game with all of your current weapons and bolts. You can also go back to your last save. Go ahead and pick one.
Okay, yeah, so I had 0 of 10 gold weapons. 35.
Congratulations. Now that Chairman Dreck's account has been closed, your gadget...
Yeah, 35... Ah, so it's me right here. Okay. I thought... Oh yeah. Puts me right here with 25 ammo. Does the teleporter show up? No, so I still have to like rewalk that. And it also appears that this is... I probably wouldn't be able to tell, but this might also still be... Yeah, I think if this were the minor section of the level, there would only be one of those enemies there rather than 2. Okay. So yeah, now that I've beaten the game and gone back to this point, I guess all that's left to do is to show off some of the glitches that I never got around to in the while going all the way through the game. And also while doing so, I can talk about the different challenges that may or may not be happening with this game. Okay, so I'll put that window there, and I'll shrink OBS so that I can see that notepad. A notepad thing that shows off basically all the ideas that have that I've thought about. So for this game, I thought about doing a playthrough of Ratchet and Clank without buying weapons. Now, the difference between doing that and most of the playthrough that I've done. Oh yeah, this guy. Yeah, so the Rhino, along with the Visibomb gun, and the Devastator, is able to do this, and that gives a skill point. And now Quark is permanently gone. Now also, this seems to be the only part in the entire game where the minor segment has enemies, but the major one doesn't. Because the first time you go through this course, there's no enemies at all whatsoever, which I find to be quite unusual. Okay. Is it? It might actually be possible to glide down there. I think I might have actually... Yeah, I might have glided from that building down to this platform here. But... yeah. Okay. Also, this enemy... this dog... and these also appear. And yeah, I am not entirely certain why that is. Like, it can't even be because of to facilitate grinding for bolts and stuff, because the small amounts of enemies doesn't give enough bolts to warrant actually going down here. Whoop. That'll be a bit better. Whoop. There we go. Okay. Right, and then once these come back up, I will be at the top of the course. Yeah, like, going down this path, you only have those few enemies and this set of boxes, which isn't that much. However, going up here will allow me to show off a particular glitch that I find to be quite interesting. So this glitch, this building right here, the developers intend for you to get to that part there, but it is actually possible to glide onto that level there. And then, like, the way you do that is... Whoop. Okay. That'll be good to know. Okay, so just a note, you can't actually stand on the very lip there. However, you can stand on that part. Okay. Right, so you crouch, hold forward, and then do a long jump and glide forwards, basically getting as much forward distance as you can. And you are able to get onto this part of the building. And yeah, the collision, well, for whatever reason, is sort of a dome like this. And yeah, I don't really have any idea why that would be. Although you can see, however, the occlusion system. So I'm in a part of the game where basically it was determined that this is the only part of this everything still seems to be okay. Yeah, so from this chunk of the game, basically, so from every location in this chunk of the game, I wouldn't be able to see this here. So despite me being able to see this here, it's not actually set to render or to be drawn by the GPU, which is a thing that the game does in order to reduce a GPU usage. Otherwise, a game as intense as this wouldn't actually be possible. In fact, you can see that the fog isn't actually that dense in this level. What else? Yeah, I think that's that, I guess. Is it possible to see the Versa target? Let's see. Because as an additional yeah, so one of these buildings here, it might be that one right there. What happens is this building, for whatever reason, has a Versa target, and either from the taxi down there or from the train, you are able to latch onto the Versa target and be pulled into it. And obviously this will kill your character, but that is a thing that can be done. I think it was theorized that that was supposed to be okay, I can't really yeah, the tree isn't solid. Okay. Yeah, you also can't. Oop. Oh, I slipped off. But then I can stand on this platform. Ah, and then some of that draws now. Yeah, so I guess that there must be the same chunk as the second island of the course. So now that I'm in this gold bolt zone, it's drawing all this stuff because that's stuff that would be seen from this area. Okay. And the Versa target is nowhere to be seen. Oh, I can... Huh. You can actually wrench these right here. Okay. Right. I'll just dedicate this here. Yeah, so that's one thing, and it's just, I guess, I don't know. It's like, I guess, something you would show off to your friends and stuff, you know. It's like, however, another glitch that I'm about to show off is more, it's more, I guess, involved. Like, there's more places you can visit with this glitch. And I might have shown this off before, but, you know, it can't hurt to see it again. And as I get there, I can continue talking about challenges for this game. So yeah. Oh, he's dead now. Right. Yeah, so probably like I've done and uploaded videos with the 2 challenges, Ratchet and Clank, all gold bolts. No. Yeah, all gold bolts, no bosses, wrench only kills. Where the all gold bolts is just a goal to meet without actually having to defeat Drek, wrench only. No bosses was, I guess, an additional goal over that to show off some of the glitches in the game. And wrench only kills was something I added. Now, so yeah, to perform this glitch, do a high jump and then glide down about here. There we go. Once you're on here, doing a hyper strike will quickly get you down onto the surface of this thing here. And again, you can see that part of this here isn't drawn because of the because of the chunk that I was in previously. They never expected me to be able to get to this point and to see all this stuff here. Okay, so yeah, all got bolts, no bosses, range only kills. So the yeah, so the wrench only kills part of it was what was that for? That was so I could use the decoy glove. Yeah. Just trying to remember where or why I needed the decoy glove. I guess it was because I was expecting it to need the decoy glove. I don't know. I actually don't remember, because you get the decoy glove on Pokutaru. I wouldn't have needed it on Orkson. Or Hoven, or Gimlick Base, or Altanus. I use it on Clearbook 3, but yeah, I don't remember why I would have needed to use that, but yeah, I think I was expecting to need it at some point, but never did. Oh, yeah, okay, I see. I remember now, because it... Right, so... Yeah, there's 2 gold bolts in this game that is behind behind barriers that you normally need the bomb glove to destroy. So one of them is this gold bolt in the cave section of Nivalis, and the other one is a gold bolt in the sand shark section of Iridia, right here. All the other gold bolts in the game can be obtained without using weapons, even if you have to use glitches. So, of the remaining gold bolts that you cannot obtain, if you're only using a wrench and for whatever reason can't use glitches, I believe there's 5 in total. So the next one you can't obtain is this one. So yeah, this worm tunnel thing, gold bolt thing. I have no idea why that isn't. Okay. Yeah, so the way that the developers intended for you to get this gold bolt is to fire a series of Visibombs all the way through here until you destroy this thing, and then you go over here, you go all the way through, and there's a gold bolt right here, which you just pick up. However, there is a glitch you can do. Well, there's 2 glitches. One of them is doing a slope intercept off of the tree and getting close enough. The other one is doing a wall jump. But I personally find the slope intercept to be a bit more consistent with getting that particular gold bolt. The next one is here. So yeah, so it's this one right here. So what normally happens is from some point in the level, probably here, you're supposed to fire a Visibomb into some objects in here, which brings down a barrier, at which point you would backtrack to about here, get in, and then get the gold bolt in here. The way you would do it using glitches is you would go around here, glitch onto the outside of that thing there and get inside there. It's something that's done in all gold bolt speedruns of this game and is visible in those. I never got far enough into that challenge to actually go and get that gold bolt, but that is what you would do. All those I believe you can get. Yes. Here you can get them all, yes. Okay. Also, all these ones and yep, both of them there can be gotten rich only, and Velden. So, one of the Velden gold bolts is yeah, one of them is here. One of them is somewhere here. I think it's about in here somewhere. And the third one is this right here. So this one and this one can be obtained wrench only. This one, what you do is you use the taunter and you have the enemy come towards you and it hits the button and deactivates the force field. You walk in and you get the gold bolt, and you need to use the taunter for that because his aggro radius is small enough that you can't actually get there if you don't have if you're outside of the barrier. But the reason why that playthrough stopped was actually Drek's fleet. It wasn't even Veldon. So yeah, with Drek's fleet, you either have to get there's 3 ways to do this. You either do it normally, where you get the hologos on Kalebo 3. Then you go through here normally, waving to all the enemies as you need to, killing them as you need to, and then you get to the end right here. The second way is to use a weapon like the bomb glove or the devastator or the rhino, and the robots behind force fields that you need to destroy are can be destroyed like that. So you never need to wave to them in order to get them to lower the force field. However, since I can't complete this race for the hologuys, that wasn't an option. No, the first one was an option. The second one wasn't an option because I couldn't use weapons to destroy enemies. The third option is to infinite jump all the way from here, the starting location, all the way to here, the end location. And that is quite difficult to do because you're not actually doing normal infinite jumps. What you're actually doing is infinite jumps but using ground pound cancels. And if you miss time, you will ground pound into the void, of which there is no saving yourself if that happens. And you are chaining together about 20 to 30 infinite jumps in order to get from here to here. What else? Yeah, so that's all gold bolts. Wrench only kills all that stuff. Of note is that in the hell room here, which is whereabouts? Here. This right here is the hell room. And also here. There's 2 hell turret bomby things here. That was the only location in the game in which I used the bomb glove. So that was the main location in which I broke the rules of the challenge in order to not quit here and to go through here and so on, wrench only and stuff. The second challenge I did in this game, it was pacifism to the max. So it was sort of discovered early on that the furthest you can get without killing is to right here. Because there's 3 enemies that come down here and you need to destroy them in order for the cutscene where you get the Metropolis infobot to play. You could go down that path and unlock Aridia, in which case you can do everything aside from this without killing anything. Yeah. Okay. What else? Yeah, so that's why a pacifist playthrough of the game isn't possible. However, you know, it occurred to me that it could be interesting, and indeed it is interesting, to consider what happens if your goal is to kill as few enemies as possible. Right, and so the idea is like there's like a few areas in which you're forced to kill enemies, and some areas in which you're forced to kill enemies, but you can use glitches to circumvent that requirement. So the 3 enemies here you are forced to kill, and you cannot circumvent that requirement. Here you don't need to kill anything up except for this part, which through glitches further on you can disregard entirely. This part you can do without killing anything. However, there's no need to really, because you can't like do the race anyway because of this. Yeah, however, the only reason why I would see you wanting to get to here is to get access to this gold vault area, which contains some crates. And you can either do what I did and slope steps onto here, or you can get there the developer intended way and backtrack after Auxin. But this planet, you don't need to kill anything. In fact, this path here, this entire planet in an any percent speedrun is skipped entirely. But this path here has no enemies at all. Metropolis, the fitness course, has no enemies, and all the other enemies, including those on the train, can be circumvented by just running past them. Even the enemies on the train. It is difficult to get past the enemies on the train, but it is something that can be done. Eudora, this path has no enemies. This path it's doable without killing, but it's optional anyway. Blarg Station. Okay, so at the end here, there's some enemies you need to kill in order to be able to press the button that lets you get the info bots to Rilgar. Also, there is a boss here which you can skip. All the other enemies here you can just run past, except for 4 frogs right here. The Clank section I skipped entirely because you can skip basically every single usage of the Hydro Displacer. Blackwater City. Because I never needed to use the hoverboard, this path isn't necessary at all. The only reason why you would want to go down it is for bolts. However, right about right here, there is a tank, which you can get past if you backtrack with the O2 mask, but first time through, it's a real pain to get past. This part here, because I didn't get the hydro displacer, I couldn't get through here normally. So I did a glitch where I went under the water here, which I try to show off in this playthrough Anything Goes. No, I think I did manage it actually. Yeah. No. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I actually did show it off, okay. But because of the weirdness with like because of the weirdness of the position detection of the water, I guess, what happened in the challenge was I ended up here and then just ran through here normally without even bothering to kill all the enemies. Umbrus, I had to kill 2 bomb turret things here, and then everything here I skipped by doing a slope intercept off of a tree here onto this checkpoint here. All the other enemies I avoided, including the boss. Battalia, so there's mines here, which based on my definition of enemies did not count as kills, because the way that I defined enemies in that challenge was any entity in the game which A, can cause damage to Ratchet or Clank or Giant Clank, and B, reacts to Ratchet's proximity. So an explosive crate doesn't react to proximity to Ratchet, it reacts to contact with Ratchet or being attacked by Ratchet. It never blows up just because Ratchet is close to it. Whereas, say, for example, an amoeboid. If you get close to an amoeboid, it will see you, it will slide towards you, and it will attack you. So that makes an amoeboid an enemy. And then I got past everything else here by doing another glitch, which I can show you shortly, I guess. Yeah, although even without glitches you can get through here without killing anything. Or, no, Gaspar. Okay, so on Gaspar I did the slope intercept, which I showed previously, and I also got the gold bolt right about here by doing a series of slope intercepts in order to be different with how I did this. Whoops. And then Koga Refinery, I had to kill a bunch of enemies in the Clank section. Pokitaru, I had to kill a ton of enemies in order to get to the end, where I decided that I wasn't going to count the ship section. Hoven, I killed a single enemy right here in order to get a platform to spawn, and then nothing else except for the turret section, which once again I didn't count at all. Here I did a series of glitches and skipped every enemy. Here you don't need to kill anything. Here you only need to kill the single enemy right here. And I never even did this path at all, which means I never went to Calibo 3. Drek's Fleet, extremely difficult. In theory, you can use the infinite jump glitch to get to the end without killing anything at all. The way I went through was I killed every enemy which you need to in order to get each force field down that you need to. So that one, that force field, and that force field, while skipping past all these enemies and all these enemies, which is harder than it sounds, and it's harder than a lot of things, I guess. And then I got to here, at which point it is theoretically possible. Yeah, it's theoretically possible to get from here to here without killing any enemies at all, again due to various glitches. So the first half is Velvet SI, which was where I ended the challenge because I wasn't able to do that particular glitch. Alternatively, I could have gone through here and killed some of the enemies, but like at that point I felt like yeah. And then with Drek, like Drek is an enemy that you are forced to kill, but I can't imagine how hard it would be to kill Drek if you're not able to destroy the mines or the gadget bots yourself. Like Drek is hard enough as is, and using the Rhino to attack him would, like, it'd probably cause you to kill other enemies, and if you were perfectly going for an absolute minimum, then that wouldn't be a thing you could do. In theory, it might be possible to skip Pokitaru, although such a skip has yet to be found. Also, it's possible to skip killing the 4 things here, and indeed this entire section, in any percent, or, well, new game, basically, 90% new game. However, it takes a lot of time to get through this thing without actually having the thing you need to get through this at all. Here you can, like, you can infinite long jump from here straight to here without killing any enemies here at all, ever. So for like an absolute minimum. Also, here you can skip the Clank section, or skipping all the kills you need to do in the Clank section through through basically some weird thing where you clip into the wall through a tree that has an animation, but through the animation only moves a few pixels. So yeah, in terms of an absolute minimum number of enemies that have to die to complete the game, the 3 enemies here. I've heard you can get to the infobot here, but yeah, you would probably be able to get out though by reloading the save. However, for the time being, I will assume that is impossible. So the minimum is the 3 enemies here, the 3 enemies here, potentially nothing here. You can skip that by doing a really difficult glitch where you slope intercept all the way up here, up to this point here. So even that 1 enemy is skippable. 0 here, here, 1 here, 0 here, and in theory you can do Drek without killing any of the others. Although, to anybody actually wanting to do that, I would, yeah, if you're going to do that, good luck. But you have Drek, which is 1, and then the enemy here, which is 2, then yeah, 5 enemies in the entire game. If we ignore the turret section on Hoven and assume that this glitch here is actually possible. Otherwise, with purely confirmed glitches, you know, we can skip this section, but we can't actually skip this section. So the total amount would still be about 110, 120, somewhere around there. Okay, on to further challenges for this game. Okay. Yeah, so one idea that I had was to complete the game while only using the starting weapons, and also only using the starting weapons. Is that really an invisible wall? Oh no, it's not an invisible wall, it's an invisible object. Okay, I see. So it's invisible there, there, to about there, and it's about there. Right, I see, okay. Okay. Yeah, so the trouble with doing the game using only the starting weapons is basically the same trouble that I would have completing the game reg only, and that's because of the difficulty of completing Drek, or indeed the difficulty of doing any any playthrough of the game. One thing that I could in theory, one of the things that I could try is to do this game permadeath. I've already done an Until I Die of this game, so like I've already played some of this game with a you only live once sort of mindset. But yeah, if I were to do this permadeath, I would probably also want to do this yeah, so doing this permadeath means being able to defeat Drek with the Devastator and the yeah, with the Devastator and the Devastator and Devastator, Blaster, Bomb Glove, and potentially Suck Cannon, and probably not Morpho Race. Oops. Okay. So yeah, a permadeath challenge means I have to get from the start all the way to having defeated Drek and pushing the final button while not dying at all. So of note is doing this as Clank unlocks the Visibomb gun, at which point I would be able to go back here and purchase it and use it wherever, basically. The decoy glove would probably also be important. Wait, no. Yeah, on second thought, permadeath. Probably wouldn't be a thing. Mainly because, personally, my rule for Until I Die type playthroughs is that I never abuse glitches. Like if a glitch happens accidentally, that's fine. But I can't say skip this planet by doing the glitch here, right? And then I would always be dying in this hoverboard race, and it would be painful to watch, basically. And I don't see why a permadeath playthrough should be allowed to use glitches if and Until I Die is not. Yeah. And then another idea was something called turbo mode, which means using my other controller, which has a turbo button on it, which means that okay, I seem to have gone in a weird direction, but it's fine. Yeah, I'll just get abuse. Okay. Okay. So yeah, it's not really that difficult. In fact, on the way back, I can get a skill point. So striker pose is a skill point where you have to get on top of that platform thing there. And so people watching will see this happen now. Okay. Yeah, so another idea that I had was turbo mode. In turbo mode, I use a turbo controller and I set every button to turbo. So what turbo does is it basically means that when you press a button, it behaves as if you're spamming the button really quickly. So if I hold... So this is a non-turbo controller, right? If I hold X, I jump, and then nothing happens. And then presumably, if I am falling down, it would look a bit like this. It would look like this. Right? And then at some point it activates a glide and he glides and Ratchet glides down. But with a turbo controller, if I were to hold X, it would look like this. Right? So yeah, it would do a jump, a double jump and then glide. But if I were gliding somewhere, it would look like this. Right? Yeah. Right? Now, the trouble with that is it wouldn't actually make the game that much harder. So, for example, like, I'm still easily able to glide by spamming X. I don't think the glide slope is reduced that much. Also, holding down square would be like that. Holding down circle would be like that. And, I mean, holding down circle and having it... I'll probably want to fill up on ammo to show this a bit more clearly, but basically...
Hi there, Fuzzball.
When you hold down circle, the blaster is like this. It's quite quick firing. Spam circle and it's slower. So you do less DPS, right? Okay, I'm going to go and get some water because my throat is very dry.